I'm here with the TheFakeWeeb discussing the current state of the Culling Game.
Yo, excited to talk about some Culling Game stuff with you.
Let's just go ahead and start with the obvious. One, I think it's safe to say here, the bomb Reggie foreshadowed with Megumi, this is Sukuna, right? Is this a safe assumption?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say it's Sukuna.
Second question I have for you. Megumi's sister, Tsumiki, what's her role in all of this?
This is kind of a crazy thought, but I believe that Tsumiki is somehow related to Angel.
You're saying they're one and the same?
Yeah, basically like Angel reincarnated in Tsumiki's body, which I know sounds like a stretch and a tad insane, but that's what I'm going with.
One thing I would like to say is since Gege has done such a great job of nodding to other shonen, I'm kind of hoping here we get a Chimera Ant arc scenario with, you know how Gon like eventually turned into the dark side, right? Because he couldn't handle what humanity did. I'm hoping like in the final stretch, Tsumiki dies, we find out her role, whatever it is, but like when she dies, Megumi goes insane. This is the part where like Megumi loses his humanity, right? And I think that would also now nicely tie in with what Sukuna wants with Megumi too. He's been saving him for something. He knows something with his shadows technique. It's like, I wonder if it's like Megumi has to tap into some type of darkness or like, you know, unleash his inner strength fully once he sees the one person who is his shining light get robbed right in front of him.
To actually add on to that, I remember in the beginning of the Culling Games, Megumi said to Remy saying, hey, if you lie to me about Hikaruma's location, then I'm gonna seriously kill you. And that really shows how much dedication he's putting into finding Tsumiki and how, like you said, she kind of acts as the moral compass for Megumi. You know, with her gone, that could tip over the dark side of Megumi losing his humanity or whatnot.
What will Gojo do when he gets unsealed? If the Shibuya arc sealed him, I'm going to say he will get unsealed here. What's he gonna do when he gets unsealed?
Depending on the circumstances when he gets sealed, I don't think he's gonna go berserk and go on this massive rage to try and put everything to an end. I think he'll get told or learn all the effed up things that had happened while he was sealed, and it will hit him all at once. You know, the deaths, the current situation, everything. And you know, there was a time where he did truly snap, and that was when he was fighting Toji. In a way, he completely lost his mind back then, so I'm not sure if something similar to that would happen in this scenario, but what I can say is that it probably won't be a happy reunion.
What do you think has to happen and what would you like to happen?
Assuming that part 2 is the second half of the arc, and hypothetically, I'd obviously want to see Gojo getting unsealed, right? Because, you know, that was one of the main storylines going into this arc. I'd also want to explore more of Kenjaku's doings and see what he's up to behind the scenes, as we did see him with the Chinese government earlier, so that's really suspicious.
What do you think these future characters will present later on? Ryu, Sky Lady, Higuruma, Takaba, Reggie.
The way I see them returning to the story kind of ties into the theory of Sukuna being the bomb that Reggie referred to, and how the strongest remaining sorcerers in each colony will have to fight a fully formed Sukuna so that they can evolve to a higher degree. And we know evolution is an aspect for the desire of the Culling Games, but yeah, that's the way I see Higuruma and all the others return to the story to fight a fully formed Sukuna in the end.
Why do you think Gege intentionally said to us, the readers, Takaba's curse technique is capable of opposing even Satoru Gojo? That's not an accidental line there. Something needs to happen here with Takaba.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised when I read that first line, but I actually have a theory on Takaba's curse technique. Well, it's not my theory. Supposedly, while Takaba's curse technique is capable of opposing Gojo, at the same time, it still isn't that strong. You know, obviously, his curse technique is that if he thinks something is funny in his head, then that imagination will be implemented into real life. But he can't just be like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I kill this person? Because one, he is a comedian, so it wouldn't be fitting for him to think that any action that leads to death is funny. And two, he says in the chapter that red is taboo or red is prohibited, red referring to blood, and that he can't allow any blood to take place. So when he first saves Megumi from Hazunoki's explosion, explosions, we see that his head is gushing out blood as he says 0 damage. He says 0 damage, implying that he's not taking any pain from the explosions whatsoever. Then in the next chapter, we see all the blood gone and his head is like fully healed, which, you know, can imply that he's immune to pain, that he can't get damaged, which is why Gege refers to that line of opposing Gojo's technique, because he is technically invincible like Gojo in a sense. However, the same thing applies to his opponents, where he can't also do any damage to them, as we see Takaba kicking Hazanoki and sending him flying through multiple debris, and Hazanoki never gets hurt. Despite all the damage Takaba does to him, Hazanoki never expresses any pain as he gets back up every time. We also see Takaba with 0 points in the Culling Games, which can help prove the theory that Takaba can't hurt people, but neither can his opponents. So at the end of the day, every fight Takaba gets in will always be a gag fight, since neither party can win. You know what I mean?
Who dies in the Culling Game?
That's a tough one, but probably gonna go with Hakurei. Not that, like, I think he will die in this fight with Kashimo. I think a future death awaits him at the end of the arc.
I'm gonna agree with you with Hakurei. His domain expansion, like when he's on a roll, this is what happens. And I think whatever future fight he gets in, and I'm talking about like climax into the Culling Game arc, he's gonna do one of those like, and this is it, I'm gonna gamble, and we're gonna see it not work in his favor. And it's gonna be really heart-wrenching. Like, I'm talking like when, you know, Nanami died, it's gonna be one of those like moments like, oh, okay, this one hurts. This one hurts. And Miwa, she's gonna serve her purpose. She's gonna die. Let's kill off some smaller characters. This is the big controversial one. I think Yuta dies in this arc. And I only say this because if the last arc, and even in the beginning of this arc, introduce Yuta and Hakurei as the next generation of people who will one-up Gojo, or who has the potential to one-up Gojo, I think we will get that fulfilled narratively. This is why they can live up to the potential of Gojo, or even see them surpass Gojo in some crazy moment, but then their light dies out prematurely for them to help the final arc setup of, you know, Megumi, Yuji, and Nobara. I think Nobara's still alive. Do whatever they have to do to finish Sukuna or defeat Kenjaku or whatever. Both are poster boys here. Yuta and Hakurei dies.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see these deaths being possible.
Who do you think comes out alive, and who do you think will die? Answer in the comments down below. TheFakeWeeb, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pleasure to do this collab with you, and hopefully we can do more in the future.
Well, thank you so much, and take care, everyone.